Okay, good afternoon, gents. Hope all is well. It's all right. Sorry, I was just looking. I just took just on a sim rather.
Target filled.
Excellent. I'm just trying to play around with it a little bit. So I hope everyone's okay. Armanas, how you doing? Price action seems a lot better today. Yeah, it certainly does. Dr. Lily, how you doing? You can see I took that. I only had it set on one contract for some reason. I think I switched over to one contract to look at a trade yesterday and never switched it back. So it went down and I started to think, oh, is it a bit congested here? So I got out, but leg. I kind of liked it because we got sort of two legs up. And actually, by the count, it is a second entry short right at the key entry point. But when I got to the chart, it had already started to move a bit. Hence, I only got out for 1.25. So there you go. So we had some new error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth. Okay, not sure why that is. Okay. So anyway, Indy, how you doing, bud? Stream health poor. Don't know that one. Okay, so I have got the NQ above me. I am starting to monitor this. I did think about having them sort of side by side. But I don't know if it's going to work, is it? I'll tell you what, let me just keep that hidden. Let's just bring that in, see if it makes a difference. Is it just going to be too complicated? Let's put that there. It might just be too complicated. Let me have a look. Oh, that's going to work, is it? I might have to just make that a bit smaller. It's okay. I'm just monitoring the NQ as well. We were having a bit of a chat yesterday about the NQ, and I put a post on. I put a post on Facebook group just to see who uses it. The only slight issue I have there is I can't get to the. I'm going to have to move it over a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work or not having two on the same screen. I might just have to have it on the other screen. I can't get to the... I probably could if I do that. I don't know if it's going to work. Having to... What I think I'm going to have to do is just put that one above my head for now, just while I monitor it. And we'll have to have a look. So that came down a lot further than I expected it to. So market is clearly open, as we can see. Yeah, it might just... I'm just playing around with the NQ at the moment. But I don't know whether this would work if I actually put one above the other, would it? I don't know. Or would it just be too confusing? Yeah, it's going to be too confusing, I think, isn't it, for now? Okay. Let's see how we get on anyway. Okay, so I hope everyone had a good trading day yesterday. My opinion was it was bloody awful. It wasn't the great. It wasn't a great day at all. So I'm looking at the daily as well, and we've obviously pushed up here. We've gone sideways. We've broken out, and it looks like we're maybe coming down to retest the top here. And if we do, we may break below it and push up. May trap some shorts there. So we may get another leg down, which should probably take us close to that. So what I might do is shove that down there for a minute. And it's the daily, isn't it, that? Let's just pop that. Oh, I hate that. Hate that. Hate it. Where is the daily? Where's it gone? There, I think. Yeah, okay, so it was on top. Okay. So there's the daily. I just want to keep an eye on that. Because we've had a fell breakout, so we could come back in here. So this is all of a sudden starting to look very bearish. Let's keep an eye on this. Jay, how you doing? I think it's just one spike and channel down. Yeah, it may be actually. Yeah, I like that. Good call, mate. So we got a leg down. Yeah, the reason I'm thinking this is because look at the daily. That looks like it's coming down to the top. It may even come back in. So let's just put that there like that and bring that down here. Trouble is, we're not far off the bottom here. We're coming close to this, aren't we? Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, that looks like a bit of a break. Getting close to the top. So I would expect to come down a little bit more. Just email you the latest chart. They're interesting charts. They're a bit above my head, actually, those, Michael. They're quite complicated for me, I think. But really interesting. Really interesting. I really like the fact that you got the screen dark as well. I got to say, sometimes when you're just staring at a white screen for long periods of time, it does fry your brain a little bit. Let me have a look. I did see that one this morning. Let's have a look. It came in at 5. What's it? The white numbers for the trades. Yeah, can't see it at the moment. I seen the one coming at 5:02 this morning. I saw that when I woke up. And the 2 from yesterday. I'll have a look in a bit. Excuse me. Okay, this to me. Let's have a look. I think that's risky there, personally. That is in a little bit of a range there. Small range. So that going short there is risky, although it may work. Who knows? Trouble is, if you're going for a new low, you're on about a tick. By the time that triggers, you're at the new low. It may just keep coming down. Who knows? But it's just it's too much for me. I can't take that. There's nowhere to go. There's no guarantees that's going to come down. Just look at the white numbers for the trades. Yeah, I will for sure. Quick question, guys. You guys that use the what am I missing? You guys that use the NQ, what tick chart do you use? I seem to be getting a mixture. Some are saying on the Facebook group, some are saying 2000, and I know Karina, who trades it as well, I think she said 1500. So, what do you guys think is closest to what we're doing here on the NQ? Are you thinking 2000 tick or 1500 tick? It'd be interesting to see what your thoughts are. ATR, what's going on here? What's going on here? 1000 tick on the NQ. Interesting, because that's quite a bit lower, isn't it? At the moment, above my head, I've got the 2000 one, and I'm just sort of looking at it, and I've got it on a sim just in case I decide to have a crack at anything. I'm just going to play around with it on a sim for maybe a few months or something. So I've just got it set on one contract at the moment. Just hard to trade this at the moment because we have had a break. In fact, we've had a break and we've made a new low. Hmm, 1500 or 1000, you think? Okay, let's switch it down to the 1500. Configure. Tick. Let's just switch it to the 1500. Edit. Let's have a gander at that. Okay, let's see how this works out today. Okay, there's a little bit more data there, so that's... Okay, this looks like it's coming down, I think. The trouble is on the NQ, when you move the ticks on here are pretty straightforward because they're a lot bigger, but in the NQ, in that sort of distance, I've got 5 points. In that distance, I've got 20 points on the NQ. So it's not that easy to move it a tick up, tick down, that type of thing. There is a lower high there, but you're going right into there, so it's just risky as hell, that is. So unfortunately, there's nothing I can really do there. I mean, look at that. I can't believe I took a 1.5 there. Look at that. What did it go down? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You'd have never known that, though. That's the thing. I actually got in a bit late. And then when it started to go a bit sideways, I got out here for a 1.5. But for some reason, I had my contract set to one contract. Yeah, so this daily, it does look like it's coming to retest this top. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when that closes. Whether we come in or what, it's hard to say. What I will say on the 1500 tick chart on the NQ, I'm assuming you still have the same 21-day EMA, because isn't that fitting in there so much nicer? Look how tight it is to that EMA as well. Let me just see. I put a trade in there. Just ignore this trade. It's all right. I'm just chucking a trade in on a sim just to see what I'd be risking on the average bar. So the average, yeah, it's 13.5 points. So, well, we're talking a lot of ticks, really, aren't we? So I'm trading one contract on here, so I would probably go for around about $100 on one contract, which would be 20 ticks.
Target filled.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so 20 ticks. So let's change my stop to 20 ticks. It's quite a bit different, isn't it? So it's going to take a little bit of playing around. For sure, it's quite a bit different. But I think the thing about the is the 1500 tick chart is it makes those, it spreads it out a bit. It makes the size and the risk a little bit less, doesn't it? So there we go. Hello, Chris. How you doing, bud? Nice job. Thank you, mate. On what? on that one trade. Yeah, so I'm playing around with the NQ here because I noticed yesterday how much cleaner the chart was. And then I put a post on the Facebook group just to, just out of curiosity, just to see who else traded it. And I was quite surprised how many actually traded it. And a lot are saying it's so much clearer. There seems to be more setup. So I think what I might try and do is just look at both. Now, obviously, you don't want to give yourself too much to do. But when it's going sideways like yesterday, you just can't trade that. So you just got to sit and watch. But the NQ looks so much smoother. So when it's like this, it might be an option then just to sort of flip over to the NQ. But I've got the NQ above me. So, so just sort of have the two. At least that way, if this ends up going sideways for a bit, you can just peer your eyes above. It's not too difficult looking at two charts and marking two charts up at all, because most of the time you're sort of sat here. But when it's doing this, there's not a lot you can do. I updated to TH, new action tool. That's very good. Position tool now. That's Jan I'm talking to there, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I spoke to you yesterday, didn't I? I updated to the, what's that? TH, new price action tool. That's very good position. You might have to give me a little bit more information there, bud. TH, what am I missing? Oh. I must be getting old. Okay, you just got to the new price action tool. What price action tool is that? What am I missing? Okay, so this is interesting. This is interesting. What are we doing now? Do you know, the only thing I will say is if you're looking at both charts, the NQ is starting to look bearish now on this setup, and that is a failed breakout. So do you trade one after looking at the other one? You can't do that one. It's very, very hard not to do that, because if all of a sudden I see a second entry short on the NQ, or the NQ starting to look bearish, you may be tempted to take a trade on here. So I think you've got to stick to one or the other, haven't you? I think either decide to trade one or to trade the other. So this is interesting. So I kicked DS to the curb. MNQ is my new sweetheart. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. Someone said to me the ES is garbage lately. So that's Definitely looks clearer, that's for certain. I think the only thing is for me, Indy, is it just takes a bit of time to get used to the points. Yeah, I got you, mate. I got you. I thought it was abbreviation for something I thought I'd missed. It just takes a bit of time to get used to the points because there's a lot more ticks, isn't there? So it's just a little bit confusing. So what I've done is I've just got it above my head on a sim just for a while, a few days, couple of weeks, few weeks, whatever, until I get the feel for it. Because what I don't want to be doing is jumping in and taking too much risk. But I've got it set at 1 contract at the moment, and I've got this one set to 2 contracts, and I've got the automated trader set to 20 ticks profit and 20 ticks stop at the moment, and obviously I'll adjust them. The ES don't trade anymore. There is way better trends on. Yeah, I'm hearing that quite a bit. I wonder why. I just noticed yesterday how much clearer the NQ was compared to the ES. 20 ticks is it really a little tight? Okay. What about 25? I'm on a sim at the moment, but I want to get somewhere in the ballpark. So if I was say on the ES, I tend to scout for about 2 points, and my stop usually is around about 2.5 points on average. So how would you equate that to the because obviously you've got to put it below the signal bar, isn't it? It's just a starting point, really, and then obviously I adjust it. So if I roughly take it over, let's say I take it to 25 stop loss and 20 profit. So what is it? $5 a tick on 1 contract, isn't it? So that's $100. 20 ticks is $100 profit, which is basically 2 points trading 1 contract, isn't it? Okay, so that makes sense. So I'm just going to take a bunch of trades on it just for the hell of it on a sim, and just to get a feel for it. That's all. You know, when obviously this is quiet. So this looks like we're getting a bit of a reversal here. So I initially had that like that, which I think is probably correct. So we had a break here and a new low. I'm using 28 ticks for a stop. The trouble is, don't you still have to put it 1 tick below the signal bar? I'm assuming you trade it the same, same sort of setup. 1 tick below the signal bar. So 28 tick on the NQ. So 28. Okay. So what I usually do, I have this set at 3 points. Now, obviously, I adjust that accordingly. If the signal bar is a bit smaller, I adjust it down. But I tend to go for 2 points on here, obviously, depending if I think there's a big move involved. So 28 ticks. Okay, so if I look at the custom on here, so can you see that? Yeah, this is for the NQ. This is, so I've got that on. So I buy and sell 5 minis. It doesn't matter if it goes against just a risk minimum. 5, 10 more NQs. Yeah, so if I okay, so if I risk, if I'm trading a contract on here, do that a few times a day and you set. I buy, sell 5 minis, flip a coin, it doesn't matter. If it goes against me, my risk is minimal. If it goes in profit, I add 5 more MNQ. So that's a strategy you're doing, is it? Sounds like. Micros. Yeah, MNQ, isn't it? Micros. Interesting. Interesting. So that'll give me $100, won't it, on 1 contract? $100 profit, and that's risking about 100 and something. So let's leave it like that. So let's call that 1 contract, 20 ticks profit, save. Yes, okay. So let's just give that a whirl on here. That's all. I'll do most of the playing around with it out of hours, out of my normal trading day. No one really knows, so you need to be able to wait until you're right. Yeah. I wonder if you can, you know, sometimes when we're trading the 2000 tick chart here, we might have like an anchor chart, say the 5000 tick or 10,000 tick chart. I wonder if you can trade this and look at the NQ for guidance, because the NQ moves down, this tends to follow. So if the NQ starts to move up and you've got a second entry long, that might just be a better indicator that, you see what you know what I'm saying? So channel up, break, you could say that's a hidden second entry long. But on the NQ, looks like it might be coming down, because we haven't had a break. This is the first break out of this, so that might come down to here. So I think you've got to be careful comparing the two and trading based on the other one. See, there's a hidden second entry long there, isn't there? And the NQ is pushing up quite nice. So
Order filled.
There. But I want to get out for here, don't I? So I'm just going to have to take so much of a point. In fact, I don't like that, what I've done there. So there's a, no, that's choppy. I just want to get out of that. Let's get out.
Target filled.
Okay, I'm at a bit of a boo-boo there. Okay, I got out for break even. Let's just write that one off. It's probably going to work. Yeah, it's just too congested, that is. Yeah, I've got to be careful there, because I took that based on what I was seeing as well on the NQ. The NQ started pushing up really strong. I've got to not to do. Does anybody do that? Use the NQ sometimes to give you guidance on trading, or is that a no-no? I think you've got to trade them independently, I think. Okay, so there's a higher low there, but we're at the highs here, so there's nothing you can really do there. I did when I trade equities. Yeah, because there was almost like a hidden second entry long there, but it's a bit more congested. But I saw the NQ pushing up really strong, which is why I got in there, and I shouldn't have done really. It's not a great habit to get into. See, there is a higher low there, but we're way far away from the EMA, so. Yeah, you got to be careful doing that. So leg up, break new high. What I'm going to do just for now is put that like that, because I think that's a safer way of looking at that. Because we've actually already had a break and a new low. So 2 legs up is where I took that one. And then that's a tighter channel. So leg. Interesting. Leg. Yeah, it's probably not a terrible place to... Yeah. I'll be interested in that, Indy. Yeah, for sure, mate. Definitely. Yeah, we got 2 legs up here on the on the NQ. 2 perfect measured legs up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. As we've had a break at a new high. So, can you guys that are watching just do me a quick favour? It'd be nice to know how many of you trade the NQ compared to how many trade the ES, because if at some point I do decide to move over, it'd be nice to sort of, you know, figure out how many trade the ES or how many trade the NQ. So if you don't mind, if you got, you know, when you get a second, just make a quick comment down below. Just put NQ or ES, NQ ES as your main chart. That'd be interesting. NQ ES. Okay, so that's one apiece. NQ and trade both. Okay, so MNQ ES MES NQ. I can work out how many does what then, see. So maybe as I have them side by side, so maybe one on this side, one on that side or something. That's interesting actually. So it's very, very mixed. So we got 1, 2. I'm not going to count both just yet. 2, count that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you make a pool? A pool? You mean a pole? I prefer a pool actually. I'd love to, but I don't know how do I do it. I don't know. It'd be nice to, because If there's a lot of people that do both, then maybe I have one side, one the next side. But it'd be nice to poll. I prefer pool. I'm not sure how to. I might have to ask Sam. He's a little bit more tech than me. There is a way of doing it on here, but for the life of me, I am. Let me have a look. So I can see if I can figure it out. Keep using poll from now on, Kev, all right? I like that. Yeah, poll, that's probably a good idea, isn't it? Because it does seem very mixed, doesn't it? Let me see if I can figure it out. So, I'm going to have to find out. I'll find out today and do it for tomorrow for sure. There is a way of doing it. I've seen it somewhere. But the life of me, I can't remember how to do it. ES main, start to look at NQ. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, bud. I've got it above me here now. I mean, straight away, I'm up $260. Look, just on a sip. Mind you, I've just took a rough couple of trades just to see how they work. That's all. But it does seem much clearer, and it did yesterday. So it's not a lot of difference actually at the moment, but it's more clearer here. It's a lot neater here, and there's two perfect legs up there. So I think 2 legs. We may come down, but if you look on the NQ, we've had this sort of leg down. We've had 2 perfect legs. So that's interesting whether we come back here and then work up in a channel, or whether now we come back down because we've had a break, 2 legs up, whether we come down and we sort of have a leg and then a leg. But I think it's nice to have the 2 because it gives you more information, about the whole picture. How do I do this? Engage with your audience. Here we go. Start a poll. Ask a question. Here we go. ES. Or NQ. When I say NQ, NQ or MNQ, just put NQ, just so I know. So yes or no doesn't really help me. Tell you what, I'll have to do it too. So if I do the first one, I'll put ES. Okay, I'll do that one. Do you trade the ES? So we'll go on and start the poll. Start poll. No. Okay, so I'll start that poll, and I'll do another one. Do you trade the NQ? Start a poll. How can I not start another one when one's already out? Fact. Why can't I not see the damn thing? I'm not very good at this. Okay, yeah. The easiest way is if you trade the ES, put yes. If you trade the NQ, put no. It's probably not the best way of doing it. Oh well. Let's have a look. So ES, yes. It's probably not the best way of doing it. I've done that. There wasn't much thought going into that. I think you can. Can you change it? I'm not sure. If you click yes and you click no, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so it's roughly double the amount of traders that trade the ES that trade the NQ. Having said that, if you trade both, then there's no... I didn't make a very good job of that, did I? Okay, so... so it's roughly double, isn't it? So if I say, do you trade the NQ? That's going to really confuse things, isn't it? Have a look. Start Q&A, answer the questions live. Okay, Q&A. No, forget that. Okay, let's try it this way. Start a poll. Do you trade the NQ? Do you trade the NQ? Start poll. Let's see if this differs, because some people might trade both. So 18 voters. There's 49 of you in. Okay, so there's definitely more trading. Yeah, I could have worded that a little bit better. There's definitely more trade the ES at the moment. Karina, hello, how are you? NQ, ES, NQ, yeah, you trade all three. You're one of the clever ones. Dr. Lenny, CLNGGC. You're one of the awkward ones. It might be an option to have... see, what it'd be nice to do is to have something for the NQ people and have both, but I'm just... if you put two charts on the screen, it may... it might just get a bit too confusing. Okay, so there's clearly more people. There's probably double that trade the NQ. And let's do the last one. Do you trade both the NQ? So if I add one more, and I'll put do you trade the NQ and the ES? There we go. And that's for people who trade both, whether it makes a difference or not. So there's clearly more that trade the ES at the moment. Be interesting to see how many people trade both. This is when we know the clever people to the not clever people. Okay, possible second entry long here. My slight issue with that is I haven't got one. Let's have a look. No. Okay, so that's interesting. That's giving me a bit of a picture. So roughly double trade the ES than NQ, and only about 25% of people trade on both. Okay, so that's interesting. That's interesting. So I think probably keep the ES on here, and then have the NQ above my head, and obviously you guys will, and then I can just bring it in from time to time actually. So that's probably a better option actually. Okay, so that's giving me a bit of a picture, because it'd be nice to sort of keep everyone happy really. Because if you just trade, can you have more answers than yes or no? I don't know. What do you want me to do? What do you want to put? Sometimes or only on a Monday? Or I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know whether you can. I don't know whether you're joking or not there, mate. Yes, thank you. It's okay. I'm just looking at this. It's very tempting, that.
Order submitted.
Trouble is, we've had 2 measured leg played out. That's the sort of bit that confuses me.
Order filled.
Okay. Second entry long. Let's see what happens here. Second entry long. I need to be out before the highs, really. Let me have a little look.
Target filled.
Beautiful. Okay. Nice quick $200. Excellent. Okay. I like that. It's fitting nice and tight. We've confirmed it there. One leg, 2 legs. Definitely a second entry long. Cheers, guys. I appreciate that. That's a pretty half-decent setup for this, in all fairness. We don't get a lot lately. It's a nice looking... Yeah, I'll tell you something. What I will say is, when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at what this did. And that went up a bit and came back a bit. And that started pushing up really quickly. And then the ES followed it. So sometimes, I don't know whether you guys find if you're in a trade, do you sometimes glance at the NQ for a bit of guidance or not? Because I noticed the NQ started pushing up strong before that bar did. So it just, I don't know whether I'm getting myself in too deep by looking at this and seeing what the NQ's doing. And if the NQ, see, I noticed we had a bit of a neutral bar then. And then when that bar started, I noticed the NQ pushed up really quick. And then that did. So I don't know whether I shouldn't really be doing that, looking at the two. Maybe it's not advisable. Because what I will say, which is kind of interesting, if I just bring the NQ in quickly, let's just bring that in quickly. There's no setup there. Clearly no setup there. We've obviously come from in. There's no setup there at all. Tech leads is a good idea in my opinion. Yeah. See, I noticed we had a neutral bar on the ES, and then all of a sudden that went up quick like that. And as soon as I looked at that, I looked down here, and that did the same. Tech leads is a good idea. When you say tech leads, you mean watching the tech stocks, the NQ. I trade NQ with the ES a little bit. When I trade NQ, I look at the ES. If both charts are showing strong bias or good bar for entry, then I get into the trade. Okay, yeah. So what you're basically saying is, if you have the two, it gives you a bit of extra guidance or a little bit of extra credence to sort of, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because I was looking at this, and it went up, and then it came down, and we had more of a neutral bar there, and I looked up just to see what the NQ was doing. All of a sudden, the NQ went up strong, and then I looked down here, and I decided to leave it, and that did exactly the same. So, would you say, okay, just out of curiosity, let's do one more poll, because I'm enjoying these polls. Let's do, so would you say the ES follows the NQ? So let me what I want to find out is if does the NQ tend to lead followed by, okay, does the spell it right, NQ lead. Okay, in your opinion, does the NQ lead, then the ES follows? So, okay, let's just see what people think. Because part of the reason I like doing these, this streaming is because I'm mixing with other traders, and you help each other, learn from each other, so and so. So does the NQ lead, then the ES follow? So most are saying no. Someone says at times down here, you should be able to edit the answers, whatever you want. Oh, I see what you mean. So, okay, so twice as many people think it doesn't. Okay, so I suppose the only way to do it really is to... yeah, perhaps it's just a bit dangerous doing that. I don't know. But if all of a sudden we seem to be stuck in a bit of a range here, and the NQ starts pushing up really strongly, I think I think it depends on the day. Yeah, okay. So don't base your trade decisions on what the other one's doing. Is what you say, and trade them both on their own merit. I think. Watch for yourself and see. No, okay, I don't think either leads, but the other, but they certainly, okay, so that they more or less work in tandem, but there's not necessarily a front runner, okay, because they're almost looking pretty identical at the moment. So let's have a look. Yeah, see, there's a bit of a second entry long looking. Well, it's a second entry by the account. Tell you what, let's move this over a minute. Let's just drag this in. In fact, I'll get rid of the... I don't need that there, do I? Hidden. So there's a bit of a second entry long on the NQ here, so let's bring that in on the side. Let's get rid of that a minute. Yeah, so there's, by the count, it's a second entry long. Sorry if I'm confusing or annoying people, it isn't my intent. I'm just trying to get a feel for both, so let's just... was on top for now. So there's a second entry long by the account off the key entry point, and that's pushing up. So is that one, so... what I might do is just have it like that for a minute. It's probably easier to do the two. I mean, at the end of the day, I've made my points today, so I'm quite happy not taking anything else. After fees, I'm $250 up, $250 up. So I'm not too worried about not taking another trade. Sometimes it's good to get a little bit of value time, but that's nice. And why don't you switch to a demo? This is a demo. Oh, I see what you mean, over on both. Yeah, that might be an option. The thing is, at the moment, Osam, is we're getting a really nice smooth move at the moment. So, oh no, now you mean over on this one? Switch on this. I'll see what I'll do for now. I've done me two, haven't I? So what am I? 250 up. What I don't want to do, see, is miss out. And it seems to be a really nice looking day at the moment. So I might keep it just for a bit. Okay, so there's some interesting information to mull over there for a start. Does the NQ follow the yes? 25% saying it does. The rest saying no, really. So that's interesting, that is. So we've got a bit of a break here, but yeah, it's interesting to compare the two, actually. I mean, a lot of people are saying, or some people are saying in the Facebook group, they've moved over to the NQ, but I don't want to be hasty. This works okay for me, although lately there does seem a real lack of setups. So it might be a case of just trading this and then maybe, you know, half an hour after just look at this, or just have a little glance at the both. But I think it's, yeah. I think sometimes you don't want to give yourself too much to do. But I think it's good to keep your options open, because if all of a sudden trades do seem to be really flat, I think it's nice to have the option. Like yesterday, I didn't trade throughout the day. It was just naff. But then on the NQ, there would have been two setups I would have taken. So I think it might be a case of just have one above your head and then, you know, focus on the one, but just keep an eye on the other one and just see what it's doing. But if all of a sudden we seem to go into a horrible tight range on this, that might be an option to just, you know, switch over and have a look at the NQ. But obviously I need to get used to the point system. I know exactly how this works. I can work this straight out. I know a risky bar roughly at the moment is going to be an average of about 2.25 to 2.5 points. On there it's a little bit more. It takes a little bit more time. But if we look at the NQ, we've had a little break and a new high there, and this is the start of a break here. So if this starts careering down, maybe you don't want to be thinking about going long here. So I think it's a case of looking for a setup based on the merit on each individual one. But if I am thinking about going long here and all of a sudden this comes tanking down, then it may be an idea to stay out here. So I suppose that there could be an element of one may guide you. Yeah, interesting. So we're clearly out this little channel here, aren't we? In fact, in all fairness, the ES looks neater than the NQ today. That looks a bit neater there compared to this. That was a little bit straggly, wasn't it? But this channel here is much neater. So this is the first break on here. This to me looks like we've already had a break. So possibly second entry long here. I always wait for the higher low anyway, but I'm staying out of this. I've done my bit anyway, and for me, it's a bit congested. And this isn't looking bullish all of a sudden. I think there's a possibility this could come down. So. I like the way that I can get to the top there if I need to. That's handy. So I suppose if I'm looking at a second entry long here, and it may be a bit congested, but I'm thinking it might be a bit risky, and then all of a sudden this comes tanking down, chances are the ES is going to follow. So I could see how they probably help a little bit, having the option of having both. But I think you've just got to be a little bit careful. I wouldn't take a trade based on what this is doing, but I may stay out of a trade. Because ultimately, if we get a great looking setup here, it's still worth doing. So this to me looks like it's about to drop. So if I was looking for long, so I think this may help me stay out of a possible risky trade. Now, I do apologise if I'm annoying anybody by just sort of talking about one and the other, but yeah, see, this looks like it's coming down, doesn't it? Be interested to see if this goes first and then this, if it does. Yeah, it's clearly congested here. This is a no trade zone anyway for me. That one, isn't it? Because I think most professional traders trade with some sort of another chart as a backup. I know when I started trading currency, we would trade the hourly chart, and we would have the 4 hourly as our anchor chart, so that the 4 hourly would give us a bit of picture, a bigger picture, and help us make a better choice. So I certainly think it's useful to have another chart just to help you make better decisions. Okay, so we look like we got a second entry long here. The only slight issue is we've had a break here. So that might not be a bad looking trade to go long. Obviously, it's clearly not working, is it? But it's coming down by the looks of things. So let's see what this does. It'd be nice to see if one tanks, how the other one follows, but they're almost moving in tandem, really. I'd say this is moving slightly quicker. Yeah, there's really not much difference at all, really. If I sort of put them side by side there, very similar picture. Possible second entry long there, but we're below the EMA, so but obviously this one's broken down into individuals, isn't it? See, that one moved before this one. Okay, so possible second entry long there. So I'm on a sim on this one.
Order submitted.
So let's drop
Order
that there.
filled.
Okay, so the trouble is, if that's the signal bar, that's where that needs to be. So on one contract, that's quite a big risk, isn't it? Yeah, I need to take time to get rid of this, so I need to be trading one. If I take that there, so my risk on that bar there, and this is on a 1500 tick chart, my risk is $270 on one contract, so it's roughly double. See, the trouble is, where's a tick here? There's still a gap, isn't there? That's why I find this hard sometimes. Okay, so there's still a gap, isn't there? Okay, so I would say, based on what I can see here, it works out roughly double, doesn't it? So this is one contract, which means I'd roughly be risking $125 thereabouts. $125. It's very easy to get it one tick below there on the ES, but on there it's not so simple, is it? So I will be picking up 200 there. So they got two legs. My only issue with that is we're below the EMA, but it is two clear legs down. Does it look any better on here? There's no setup on here really. It's congestion and we've broken out, but push straight in. It's a big bar. So yeah, if you're trading one contract here, you're roughly making double and risking double. Yeah, so that's still a tick. Can you actually get closer? No. Okay, so that's one tick, isn't it? So in all fairness, if you were breaking the highs,
Target filled.
Yeah, so that smashed it, that has. So that was a nice setup there. It was clearly two legs down. I'm not convinced that's a break because it's nicked that corner, isn't it? So you scalped 3 points. What did you on the NQ OSUM or the ES NQ? So leg down. It's clearly two legs down. There's a bullish bar. On the ES, yeah. See, I wouldn't take that. It is a second entry long by the count, but it's congestion. We break out, then we push back into the middle line. You know what I mean? So you just don't know what it's going to do. Made my points on that long on the NQ using the ES Delta pump as an indicator. Now I'm flipping confused. But in all fairness, it's kind of nice to have the two because I suppose if you see a nice setup on here and you think that's going to work, chances are we're going to get a push up on the ES. I don't know whether it's advisable to do that one. Third entry, yeah. I get what you're saying. I know a lot of traders who will just buy down here. We wait, generally, as a max trader, we wait till the signal bar finishes. But a lot of traders, for instance here, I know a lot of traders, if you look at the gorilla guy, one leg down, two leg down, he wouldn't wait for that to close. If he hit a measured leg, he'd buy down here and maybe risk a point. Whereas we wait for the bar to finish or possibly take it on an engulfing bar. But whereas if we've had a break and two perfect measured legs down, The gorilla guy would buy around about here and maybe have a smaller risk rather than us up here. Obviously, then there's the chance it may come down a bit further, but if you're risking half the amount, you can afford to get it wrong twice as much. But if we've had 2 legs right to the count, chances are after a break we're going to push up. So that's interesting, that. So I'm going to mark that as a trade. Second entry long. Interesting, that. So there's one set up there. Are you in the Scotland? Okay. So that's interesting, that is. So there's a trade on there and a trade on there. So where we get a trade there, we don't there. So whenever we get these breaks, it just gives you the option to, but the trouble is it takes a bit more getting used to it, because obviously this is more fluent, whereas this is tick, tick, tick. This is more tick, 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 tick. If that made any sense. Let me have a look. What you sent me, lad. Yeah, I see what you've done. I have not seen Grilla for some time. His website is down too. Yeah, I actually watched a couple of his videos the other night. I know there was a buddy of mine, a trader buddy of mine, that was looking to join his forum. And I had a bit of a chat online. He asked me what I thought, and we had a bit of a chat. And he said, I'm going to join. And then he said he sent his money, and then about an hour later he had an email saying he stopped trading for a while and he refunded his money. So I don't know whether he's just stopped streaming or whether he stopped trading. I don't know. I hope he still trades. But I did, of course, yeah, because you were part of his group for a while, weren't you? I liked him. I kind of like what he did. He did Pats, but slightly different for more points. He's probably at war in Gaza. Don't say that. Hopefully not. Yeah, I don't know whether he's military or nothing. I wouldn't have thought so. I thought it was an older guy, wasn't he? Was he early 50s, I think? He's probably a bit too old for that, I think. But yeah, I liked him. I liked what he had to say. He was an interesting character. In fact, he came on the stream once, didn't he? Maybe about 7 or 8 months ago, he came on the stream for half an hour and had a chat. He lives just outside Tel Aviv, doesn't he? But yeah, he was an interesting character. And I like that. I've always wanted to go for more points because I think if you get the right setup, there's nothing worse than, let me have a look. There's nothing worse than taking this trade like here and just going for a point. That's it. It just doesn't seem a lot in the grand scheme of things. I mean, look how much we could have got. Even if you'd have sort of, I don't know, even if you'd have, there's often more points available. But what I tend to do is take mine judged on what I'm seeing. Now, if we've got a very bearish and we've got 2 nice legs, I may go for a few more points. I didn't there, and the reason I didn't is because we had 2 legs. So my concern was it would go up to here, retest and come down. I believe he's from Israel. But his site was down a couple of weeks before the October attacks. Yeah, I mean that trader bud I mentioned. It was probably maybe 6 months, 7 months ago that he had an email saying that he said he was having a break from trading. Whether he meant streaming or not, I don't know. I like to think he's still trading because I liked him. I liked his way of thinking, and he seemed to be successful, and I like that. You know, I like to see people doing well. Okay, so we've had a nice channel up here. In fact, if you think about it, it's actually looking a bit neater than that today. That channel, this is looking a bit neater. So they've both got their merits, actually. The only thing I've got to do is get used to the point system. Because when I drag that down, obviously at the end of the day, it's about the money, isn't it? It's about the cost and the risk. The ticks, the individual ticks, is a little bit irrelevant. It's more about getting your risk management. So you've had a leg and a higher low. So that's interesting there because I think I'm going to buy that
Order
on a sim,
submitted.
of course. Trouble is, it's hard to get this right, isn't it? In fact, if I'm going to get into it, I might as well get into it as much as early as I can.
Order filled.
Okay, so that would be there. So in this case, on one contract, the profit is $100, which is where I'd want to be, and the risk is $160, which is somewhere around about right. But we got one leg, two leg, a push up, and a higher low. We haven't hit the highs of the day yet. I'm out comfortably before the highs. So there's a tick. Now this is only a sim anyway, so don't start panicking. But one leg, two leg, push up, higher low. I thought that might be a good option because it's going to trap a few shorts there. Clearly not. Not that we're finished yet. What I have noticed, this will do this a lot, and then all of a sudden turn really quickly. Now, if we've got two legs down, we're pushing up. I'd probably go for a bit more than that. Probably go 1-to-1 there. Are you guys talking about Gorilla? Yes, bud. Yes. We certainly is. Yeah, the only thing is with this, it's hard to say there. It's hard to judge that one tick, isn't it? You've got to open it up, really. Yeah, that's one tick. Okay, so that's where I got in. It triggered above it, and I just got it on a limit order. That looks like it's going to rocket
Target
up.
filled.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm starting to like this chart already. I'm starting to have more success on this. Let's have a look. So I'm only on a sim here. So just trading one contract on a sim, that's already up $615. Granted, one of them was it that one I got in somewhere? I think it was that one I got in that came back and then dropped down. That was the one there. Second entry short it was like a triple test almost. I do like the way this works quick. How did you get the background red on your... Oh, on this? That's a secret. I can't tell you that. No, it's you can only do it on a sim. Let me have a look. I can't remember now. It's in... I think you have to go into tools and stuff. Let me have a look. Or is it workspace? Main chart setup. Can't remember now. Was it no? I can't remember now. Someone showed me how to do it on here. I can't remember how to do it now. Is it no? I can't remember. You can only do it on a sim. You can't do it on a only on a sim. It only works on a sim. I can't remember how to do it now. Was it on here or not? I don't think it was. No, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure you go into chart setup. I can't remember. You're going to have to play around. Have a play around with it, bud. Options, trading. There we go. Options. That seemed to be ringing a bell. Simulator color, yeah. Under the main menu. Simulator color, yeah. Yeah, now this is interesting. Leg back. This is interesting. It's a failure as well.
Order submitted. Order filled.
What's this risk? Our risk's a bit more there. Let me just get rid of this. Yeah, the risk's a bit more on that one. We got leg. New low. So we had 2 legs down. Try go what low one, struggle low one, failure. I bet there'll be some maybe not. This is just sort of playing around with this really at the moment rather than trading seriously on it. And it kind of looks like a bit of a range as well. We got 2 legs back, a push up, one attempt to go low, a second attempt to go low. I think that's okay actually, so let's just put that there. Because if it goes up, it is a failure. But I like the way that bullish bar is sat right on top of that EMA and the EMA's facing up. So we've got 2 legs back, a push up, a fail second entry short. Yeah, it is. It'd be nicer to trap some shorts there. So I'm not sure whether there is, but I just love the bar there. It is a failure with a really lovely bar. So a leg up, 2 legs back. I can see this coming up for another leg. But I'll get out before the tops. It's only on a sim again. But I'm trading 1 contract, and that is the biggest risk I've had there. It's quite a big bar, and that's based on 1500 tick. So I'm just trying to get a feel for the average bar size, what the risk would be. So I kind of like that. Two perfect legs down, try go once, try twice, failure. Love where the bar is. I at least expect to get to the top. We've come down, we've tapped that bottom and reverse. So I'd say I'd expect it to hit that. But after the 2 legs, we may get a bigger channel. There may be a bigger channel up here, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's put that up there. I like that. Bigger channel there. I like that. 2 legs back. We've pushed up. Confirm that again. I think we can see us getting some good moves up here. And this does tend to move pretty quick, doesn't it? So leg up, 2 legs back. Interesting. And we do seem to be getting a channel here, don't we, as well? Interesting. Interesting. I like that. We've pushed up, we've touched it there. That bar has confirmed it. There's probably going to be some shorts there. And when we break above there, knowing what this is like, I'd expect it to go pretty quick. Now, that's the only issue I have with that. It's very hard to tell without making that bigger to get that one tick below there. If you put it around there, it looks like it's touching. So let's let her ride. See what happens. I'm more than the setups. I'm just getting used to what the risk tends to be. That's going to rock it, isn't it? I think that's what I like about this. When it moves really quick, and when it gets above these, woof. So leg up, 2 legs back. Maybe I shouldn't be too greedy. Be nice to trap some shorts with that bar. And then off we go. Leg up, leg up. Once we get above there, getting to the close to the top of this, so what I'm going to do is just pop that there and then let's just put it there. No, let's let it run a bit. Let's put it at break even. I think it's going to push, isn't it, by the looks of things? Play it like it's real, yeah. Good point. Let's put it there, so I've guaranteed myself something, haven't I? In fact, if I was playing it like it's real, I'd probably be out by now. 2 legs back and a higher low. Come on. Let's leave it there. I'm going to leave it at break even because I can see that having a good push up. We've got 1 leg up, 2 legs of correction, a higher low. Once we get above this, I think we'll push up. Personally, yeah, I am looking left, but we've got 1 leg up with 2 legs of correction and a higher low. So if we can get above all this, it'd be nice to trap some shorts there. But it's a completely risk-free trade, isn't it? Well, not only because it's a break-even, because it's on a sim. I'd like to see that bar trap. We're clearly in an uptrend, aren't we? 1 leg back, 2 legs back, 2 legs of correction, and a nice higher low. I'd like to see that get trapped. Okay, that's coming to the top now. I don't want to see that gets trapped, so I'm just going to stick that there now. If we can get above this, I think we'll have a good strong push. Usually when we get above... there we go. I love this. I love the wet. Let's get right up there now.
Stop fill.
Get to the top of this now, see, so that was the one I went for, wasn't it? So what was it? It was a failed second entry. Shit. Fell second entry shit, sorry. Fell second entry short. Fell second entry short. There we go. 80 tick profit. Yeah, how the hell do you count that out? I suppose you do it there, don't you? Okay, so that worked really nice, actually. That was a failure. Stroke second entry short. Fail second entry long, second entry short. Fail second entry long. Stroke. Second entry short. Second entry short. Okay, so it definitely seems a lot clearer here. Two nice leg backs, a nice failure. I'd expect that to push up. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if we get up for another leg, which would get us close to the tops here. So we got one leg, and a second leg. That will get us above the highs of the day. So we got one leg up, 2 attempts to go lower, 2 attempts to go lower, a nice failure, and confirming that channel. So I don't see how you can't take that really on there, and one nice second entry long on there. There's a possible overshoot there, so I'd be interested to see how it affects this. So that's looking quite productive on one contract. That's a pretty half decent day, that is. In the 3 trades. It's getting used to the risk though, isn't it? So I think the order of the day is just one contract, I think. Interesting. Push up. We've been going an hour and a half. Could reach high of the day. Well, judging by that, if it follows this, yeah. Did anybody else take either one of those, or either one or both? I think that was definitely a good trade. I like that one, and I like that confirmed this line. That one I'd have taken. Yeah, I see Mac all the time trading it under the EMA. I don't think if the setup's good enough, I don't think it really matters too much. Trading in Q 1500 tick charts, and those stops should have 150. With using your apex. Yes. Okay, so you think it works. So if you've got a... so how many contracts are you trading then, bud? If you've got a 150 account. Is that what you're thinking? Or you're thinking because of the sort of bigger moves you can... I'm not sure what you're thinking there. We took the second one as penguin style. Let's have a look. Leg up, one attempt to go low, second. Beautiful. Absolutely agree with that one. So we got one leg up, made one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, failure. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing is with him, he tends to get out before the highs. So if you took that there, I don't think you would you? You're close to it, unless he took it on a limit order once it ticked. Oh, doesn't it? Interesting to see how he does that one. The only slight confusing thing is the risk. So it's the way it seems to me as if you trade in one contract on here, it's almost the equivalent of two contracts on the ES. If that does that make any sense? Maybe take a snip of that. Yeah, and then Q only one. Yeah. But yeah, actually, I see that. Yeah, we got one leg up, one attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, and a failure. You'll probably expect a leg and a leg, wouldn't you? Be interesting to see his video later. In fact, let's see if anybody else takes it. I got the. I like that. In fact, this would have been useful for yesterday, wouldn't it, on the ES? It was like that yesterday, wasn't it? I had a measured move in play, one leg up, two attempts to fade, until on the second attempt, yeah, so we got one leg up, one attempt to go lower. Oh, what's happening here? Second attempt to go lower, failure, and obviously it's confirming this channel then, isn't it? There was a quick flicker there, so I'm guessing, did we just catch the top of some stops there? I think we might have. Yeah, we did. Or did we? That was interesting. I do like the way this moves. It doesn't seem to hang around now. I suppose that can catch you off guard. Let's see what Matt's got for us. Okay, so leg up. Has Matt got that? Has he got that to there? 77, yeah, he has. Okay, so Mac has got his channel like that. Let's get that out of the way. From there to there, that's how Mac's got his channel. So there's our, I'd say, our break. He's got it from there. We touched there, didn't we? Let's have a look. $74. Oh no, 70 it starts. So where's 70 down? No, that's not right. There, 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 there. Okay, yeah, he's got his here like that. That makes sense. So let's put that like that. Not like that. So there's our break. So this is quite neat compared to yesterday, isn't it? Yesterday was awful. So Max got his like that. That touched at 74, so a little bit tighter. So there, okay, that makes sense. The break, 1, 2 pushes up to a new high, came back. Are we continuing up? Let's have a look. Tough one. Have to go. Thanks for the great. Anytime, mate. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Okay, let's get rid of that now. Interesting. Okay, well, how long have we been going? I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. Make myself a cup of tea. Refresh. So let's put that there. So I'll leave these two charts on the go so you can see what's going on. Left one's the NQ, that one's the ES. I'm just monitoring the two. That one's on a sim. Obviously, I'm just getting a feel for it. So I'll be 5 minutes. Okay. Let's have a look what's going on here. Are we continuing higher? Does look like it. Let's take that off. Leg. Okay, this is looking promising. It's a bit congested here. It's definitely a clearer chart than yesterday. There's no argument there. We had a leg down, a break, a couple of legs up, another leg down. The break, new low, retested the lows, and off we trotted. So we sort of had a double bottom there. So 1, 2, 3, a double bottom, and then a push up. Back a little bit, push up, back a little bit. Second entry long, which I took there, worked nicely. Nothing else really. We touched. So that seems to be okay. Possible overshoot, although I'm not massively convinced. Could just move that like that, and it sort of works as well. So. ATR's low again. It's been very low lately. So I think your average risk is a fraction over 2 points, which doesn't often happen. So we got a leg up. Looks like another leg up. Unfortunately, no setup there really. We've come back, we've gone sideways. We are sort of working higher, but it's just too risky taking that for me. It's obviously bought off there. Strong on the NQ, isn't it? So we got a leg up, 2 legs back, high low, the trade I took, and then off it went. So I think there's a good chance we're going to get to the highs of the day by the looks of things. We got a leg up, 2 legs of correction, and then another leg up. So I think it's a good chance we're above everything now. There's no resistance really till we get up to up towards the top. So I wouldn't be surprised if that thing just keeps going. But it is working. We've had a push up there. We're working this top tier, 2 legs back now, working nicely in this bottom tier. So I think the next target is up here, isn't it? So it's actually not that difficult trading the 2. Because obviously we're only really looking to get in at certain areas. So while it's doing this, you know, you're not paying as much attention because you're not looking to trade at the tops. You're only looking to trade at the bottom. So it's okay just to glance left and right, really. It's not an issue, actually. I thought it might be a bit awkward to trade the 2. A few people on the Facebook group yesterday said they traded 2. It's actually common support, isn't it? Yeah, 4679. Yeah, it is looking like it, isn't it? I think there's a good chance of us reaching these highs, and if we'll do it on this, I think it's almost, well, I mean, look at the 2. They're almost identical, really, aren't they? Very, very close. Very close. So if one gets up here, I think it's pretty fair to say that the other one's going to do the same. And that second leg there might get an NQ eval account. Yeah, you don't need one, do you? You can trade a normal eval account, can't you? Right. You can get you can trade an evaluation on anything you like, can't you? Are you on about just to trade something completely separate? It's interesting, actually. I didn't think... the trouble is, lately, the ES hasn't had what I would call really good quality setups. Sort of good second entries. I mean, that trade there, you don't see a lot of trades like that anymore. You don't. So you just got to be, you know, a little bit more advanced setups maybe. But you just get days sometimes, like yesterday, we're just chopping really not a lot. So I know sometimes you've got to be patient. It's just the way it is, part of trading. But if you can look at this, now yesterday, if you compare the 2 charts from yesterday, this one looked absolutely crystal clear, very clean and easy to read. And there was 2 trades on here I would have definitely taken. Whereas compared to yesterday's ES, there's no trades I'd have taken because it was just messy. It was choppy. It had a slight upward bias, but it wasn't convincing enough and strong enough. Whereas the NQ was completely different. So I think when we have days where it's just choppy and going sideways, I think it's okay then just to focus on this one for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever and just keep glancing. But what if you can't trade on here because of chop, then obviously on here might be a better option. But it's nice, you know, it's nice to have 2 strings to your bow, you know, just being able to do one thing. Obviously, there's a certain amount of limitations, whereas having the 2, you know, things are a little different. Just thinking what might be a better option just to sort of have them like that. Yeah, that's probably a bit better. We're actually working really nice in this bottom tier here. It's cleaner here, isn't it? It's not so much here, although the channel looks nicer. one leg back, second leg back. So 2 nice legs back. Trouble is, it's an inside bar, that, so it wouldn't interest me that really. I'm not 100% this thing is. There is a possibility of a little overshoot there because we're touching nice there, so that's a possibility. Now, as I'm saying that, we're having a break. The first push here touched the midline. The second push touched the midline. The third push is fallen a little bit short, so that tells me we may get a break. And I like the way if I open up an order here,
Order submitted.
I can see it to the left there, so that controls everything on both charts. I like that. That tells me it's a sim, so I know when I'm trading one contract.
Order cancelled.
Okay, leg, inside bar, that's the issue. I got a new high, so we got a break. So it is 2 legs, but it's an inside bar, really. I just can't take that, really. Okay, so we got a break there. That's interesting. Let's clean this up a bit. Leg up, 2 legs back, high low off the key entry point. So that's definitely a bit of a break there. I don't think we've had a break. We're touching there, nice. Touching there, touching there, touching there. Yes, if you'd have taken that one, it triggered you, and your arse would be twitching about now. Yeah, there is a possible overshoot there, in which case could come down a bit. We've got a break here, so leg. Second entry long there. There's a failed second entry long there. That looks like it's going to trap some shorts, so you've got to be a bit careful here. Because on the NQ we've had a break, we've had a leg down, a little pullback, we could get another leg down to bounce off this. Stops piling up on both sides, yeah, leg down, so I wouldn't be surprised if this comes down to there. Which means if that second entry long triggered, it's going to get stopped out. So let's see what happens here. It's actually better to do them side by side, it's a bit clearer. At least it's very easy to glance rather than above you. So push down sideways. I wouldn't be surprised if it hit the top of this. Okay, there is a second entry along there. It is working nice, but there is an overshoot, which makes that just a little bit more risky. And what I'm seeing on here, push down sideways, we may come down and retest this, and if we do, and that's triggered, it'll make that null and void. So would I normally take that? Normally, yes, but because of the overshoot, no. And it is just a little bit, although it is working up this way, so I get why some traders are going to take that. But this, to me, on the NQ is looking like we've got a leg down, 3 bars to the side. I think we're going to come down for another leg. Now, I might be wrong, but that would keep me out of this trade. So the combination of what I'm seeing here and the overshoot on there is keep me out of going long. It hasn't triggered. But there you go. Now, the last 2 bars is price is being held by the EMA, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. This, to me, looks like it's coming down. Yeah, it is. Oh, it looks like it is. 1 minute it looks, next minute it does, but yeah, that will keep me out of this trade. It's a bit choppy anyway, really. Leg down. Interesting. That moved up and triggered this first. So there's going to be some longs in there. Now I'm staying out of this because I don't like what I'm seeing on here and the overshoots. There's 2 reasons I'm staying out of this. And I think I'm right. That's going to get stopped out. So this has helped me make a decision alongside with the. So there's 3 points. That makes me nervous. The NQ makes me nervous, which is why I've stayed out of that trade. Look at this now. Leg down, leg down. Surely this is coming down. That's interesting. There's a failure there. So that is interesting. Right, whatever I'm seeing on both, it's choppy. Down, up, down, up, down. And there's a failure there. That's going to take out some shorts. Still not liking what I'm seeing here. If this does come curling down, pretty sure this will. You're betting up, are you? There is a failure there, see, so...
Order filled.
Okay. there is a failure there. Yeah, I want to get out of this. There is a failure there, and if I'm just going to take a quick point here. What I like is it's clearly a failure. It's clearly respecting that, isn't it? There's some shorts there for sure. It's clearly a failure. It's respecting that line, isn't it? I'm going to give that an extra tick. In fact, I'm going to put it there because that would have been the better trade, I think. Got to get out before the highs, really, haven't I? Okay, so that would have taken that one out. Ooh. Small range, yeah, there is, which I think is going to take me out. I like the trade, don't get me wrong. There was a higher low there, and there was a failure there. I've got me stop at the higher low. I'll see what happens. I've sort of got this attitude now. I'm beyond caring about the money. I just let the money come and go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'm tending to not stress about it too much. I'm just going to trade the account. If it makes money, it makes money. If it doesn't, that's the trying attitude. Obviously, I want to make money, but that's the trying attitude. That's the attitude I'm trying to have. So the second entry long is held. So we'll see. It's going a bit sideways here, so I'm tempted just to get out. If it gets above there, surely it's going to push. Yeah, I want to get out of here. I hate it when it goes sideways. I might just bring that up there and just risk a bit less. Yeah, I'm going to get out of this.
Target filled.
Okay, I'm out. I just don't like it when it's going sideways. It might work. I just don't like it when it's going sideways. So I'm out of it. What did I lose? $25 a tick. Yeah, that'll do me. I've got no issues with that. I'm just not a massive fan when it's going sideways. That's concerning me, the overshoot. And it's right at the top of this. See, if it breaks above there, then I think it'll go. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this. Leg down. Typical. Now it goes. I don't mind. I can deal with a tick loss. Yeah, I don't know. While I got out of it, I lost a tick there. So to 275.3. Yeah, I just lost a tick there. That's all right. I got no issues with that. That overshoot's worrying me. It could just come curling down. I don't mind. I don't mind getting out minus a tick. So I'm still up 3 points for the day, so that's fine. You know, sometimes when they go sideways and you're thinking, I'd rather guarantee that I lose $25 or risk losing $275. I don't see how I can draw that channel any better, really. We've had a break. I mean, if you look at the NQ, we've had a break. See, same here. We got a sort of leg up and a leg up, and it's going sideways. I think leg up sideways. This could just come down. So this is telling me that I think this looks like it's coming down. So that's aiding my decision there. Now, when it broke above these stops, there's stops there. There'd have been some failure stops there. But I'm guessing most of the stops will be above there or possibly there. But I just don't like this. It's going sideways here, so just I knew it was going to range when I got in, so shouldn't. But where I did feels more lucky than good, that trade. Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, I got to have it for a $25 lot. I mean, it's not in there, really, is it? But excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't like it when it's going sideways. Okay, so there's a break, isn't it? Leg. It almost looks like a triple test, and my concern is it comes dropping down because there's going to be some longs there. And look at this now. You just scalped out, yeah. This is just not looking strong to me. This is looking like it's trapping a few longs in, and I think this is going to push down. We had a channel down there. It's just looking bearish at the moment here, just this bit. And if this comes flushing down, there's going to be long stops there, long stops there. Now, I could be completely wrong, but I think sometimes if it goes sideways enough, I think sometimes it's good to just get out of it. But I have my worries here. That, to me, we've made one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, triple test, bearish bar. That's coming down for me. There we go, see. Leg down, sideways, leg down. That's doing exactly the same. That's leading and that's following. So that's really interesting. So one, I think, can help you with the other one. I started to lose confidence with that when I started looking at that, and I think rightly so. And look at this now. So this has come down a leg and a leg. Let's see what happens here, because it's not come down as quick as I thought it might. But it ain't finished yet. There's definitely going to be some longs there. I took it and only scalp for ticks, got scared. Yeah, same here. It's going sideways, and we've had a push up, haven't we? For me, the bit that keeps sticking in my head is this. Now that looks like an overshoot to me. We've gone up, slightly less steeper. That looks like an overshoot to me. Now we've made one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go, third attempt to go higher. You know, so for me, I'm just nervous. It may continue on up. We've got one leg, two legs down here now, so it may continue to go up. But sometimes when it goes sideways, I think it's just good to get out. Like I say, you get out. I mean, I get out at a tick and minus a tick. It's neither in or there, really. Too rangy for me, yeah. See, the second entry long there is still, yeah. In fact, I've got a sheet of paper that's fallen off my computer. Them post-it notes are bloody useless that I keep looking at, and it says, take a trade, look left. And what I didn't do was that, look. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches there, 5 touches there. That was the trade. It was the higher low I took, actually, but I put my stop there. I usually give it an extra tick on ranges, so I'd have still been okay there, but I think that was the first trade, the better trade, and then the higher low. It may work, but I put my stop below there, so I'm out anyway. Sometimes you get in, sometimes you don't, but I wasn't paying attention to that. I should have done. So, push up, one leg down, two legs down. Interesting. We've got one leg up, two legs of correction. Push up, two legs back. You know, I wonder if there's a different channel here. Maybe not just yet. Yeah, I'm still glad I got out of that. It was the right decision to make. Judging by what I'm seeing here, this is going to come tumbling down and take out stops there and stops there. Look at this. This is going to drop in a minute. Oh, super slow. Yeah, good decision to get out of that. Yeah, it would have made a little bit, but it wouldn't have made me what I expected. So if you had a stop there, probably below here, I'll be shocked if that doesn't. This is coming down some more. I think once it starts to go, it does tend to go really quick. And this is following. Another concern of mine is the ES never retest the low of the downtrend. Well, it depends what you look at it here. I had mine as a separate one there, and I think that fitted nice. So if you look at Mac at it like this, he had this one here, which we had a break and a new low. Then it went a couple of legs up. Then we had this channel down with a break and a new low. Then we came up, retested it. We had a new low, came up, made a double bottom, and then pushed up. This could be the bottom of the channel. It's two-tiered from the lows. Shoot. I would have been stopped out if I didn't get out. Yeah. I mean, 1 minute it looked okay there. We had sort of it was like 2 legs back. It was, so if you think here, it was the first entry. It was actually a failure, trapping the shorts, plus a second entry long. There's a high, there's a new high. It's a second entry long, a failure, and you're trapping a second entry long failure. So your stop would have been 1 tick. So perhaps it is just going to rock it up. Sometimes these setups do hold in the end and do play out. So we got a push up. We got 1 leg back, a second leg back. It's a failed second entry short. It's a second entry long, and you're trapping. If you can get above there, see, I'm really surprised because of the overshoot. 1 attempt higher, second attempt to go higher, which triggered. I thought that would have rocketed up, which is part of the reason why I got in with the higher low. But no, maybe. That's triggered. So sometimes it is useful having this one because it can give you clues. So 1 leg back, second leg back. So it is visually 2 legs. Excuse me. First entry, second entry, failure. First entry, forget that little bit, I'm not worried about that. First entry, second failure, which is triggered. The short got triggered and it pushed up. I'm just wondering when it went sideways whether anyone who had the failure got out of it. Who knows? Who knows? So we've got a channel here, a break. Interesting. This is going to come down. This one looks like it is. There's going to be some stops here. Definitely some stops here. Thinking a second leg up. That's really interesting, that. Excuse me. So there's going to be stops there and stops there. Definitely stops there. Thinking 1 leg up, 2 legs back. I'll hold for a second leg, which is up here somewhere. Yeah, which would take us up to the highs of the day. NQ, how much more bearish? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's sort of similar because we got 1 leg back and 1 leg back, which we sort of have 1 leg back. So they're similar, but they still have their own characteristics. We've had a break here and we've had a break here. But this does seem to be more exaggerated somewhat sometimes. Is that like a measured leg, is it? Let's have a look. So, leg and a leg. That's interesting. It's sitting on there. So that's interesting. So maybe we are going to push up. Who knows? See, at the moment, if you did take that bar there, that second entry long there, your stop's still intact. And often when you do get a good position and a lot of traders are in there, it does help protect your position, your stop a little bit. Whether it will or not, I don't know. But obviously the more stops that are there, surely the more chance it has of not getting taken out. Yeah, they're looking quite different today. They're sort of similar, but more different today. So if you get the same sort of size, yeah, they are. They're very similar. I've got that pushed up different. The channels have got different. I've got a tighter channel there. So actually this is easier to read today, isn't it, than this? So you've got the best of both worlds there. You've got 2 individual charts which sort of have very, very similar characteristics and same sort of movements. So I think it's really useful to have the 2. obviously to put NQ looking to go up. Yeah. Still really choppy there. Interesting. What's a good stop loss take profit for the NQ fit? You're going to have to ask someone else, bud. That's not my bag, that one. Anybody else can answer that one? What's a good stop loss take profit for NQ 1500 tick? Yeah, I'm still quite new to this NQ. I've looked at it before a few times and played around with it on a sim, but not much. Not much at all. There's been a few more setups. Mind you, I've had 2 setups today. I lost a quarter of a point here, but I've had a point here and a couple of points there. That was nice. But this has played well today as well. There was a fell second entry, long second entry short there. 2 nice legs down, a high low there. Worked really nice. This is coming down for sure, isn't it? But I suppose if you're looking to go long here and this is looking very bearish, might be a good idea to wait. So I think they may complement each other. So we got a few bars sat on that measured move there. There's a bullish bar there, relatively bullish, which is triggered. If that gets below that bar there, I could see us having a quick flush down. There'll be some stops there. 100% there'll be some there. Leg up, nice second entry long. Let's see. If that comes down, which it's definitely doing, isn't it? If it gets below there, I can see that coming down a bit more. Yeah, that's coming down, that is. There'll be some stops there. So if you did get in long, so if you were in long here now, you might consider getting out. Or sorry, if you were thinking about going along there, you may consider to not jump in rather. So the fact that this is looking really bearish is a good indicator of what this is likely to do. There you go. So if you took that one and your stop was there, it's just got taken out. So it's useful to look at this. I can see how they sort of work in tandem, and I can see how seeing what this is going to do might help you make better decisions on that. That was starting to look really bearish. And look, this one moved today and this one followed. So if you had any orders there, see anything got taken out there. So leg back. Let's have that. Yeah, interesting. See how one follows the other. So let's see how low this goes, because there's going to be some stops there, I would say. Certainly there. It's really interesting looking at the two. So maybe that overshoot is playing a part. Who knows? That's interesting. Leg. leg. Really interesting, actually. Yeah, I think. So that's played out that measured move. Let's bring that down a bit there. Just looks a bit rangy, doesn't it, actually? Yeah, see, this one looks rangy. That one looks the complete opposite. It's weird, isn't it? Karina, depending on the ETR, but my ETR is 20. Take profit. Stop high volatility. Go to. That's interesting there. ETR is at the moment 20. Take profit. Stop loss 40 ticks. Yeah, I think it's good to play around with it. I mean, I'm only on a sim. And I'll continue a sim for, I don't know, a few weeks, months or whatever, a couple of weeks, couple of months, just until I can get a feel for it. But at the moment, it's still, although I can obviously work out what's going on, it's just the point system's quite different. Sometimes the risk seems to be a bit more than you expect it to be. So, you know, if you're going to do it, maybe just, I don't know, trade 5 micros or something or something like that. Maybe just reduce it just to play around with it. Or just you know, just go with a couple of micros just to get a bit of a feel for it. You know, have a bit of fun if anything, you know, for want of a better word. So that's played out as we know. So I would say if I can squeeze that there, we've got a small break there, I think. Let's remove that and have a look. So we're going from there. Touch. It's negligible, isn't it? In fact, you may even draw that a bit different. You could say a channel, 2 legs back, and a bit more of a channel. I don't know. It could just be a break. A few pushes up to a new high. Yeah, the ES seems a bit clearer today. This channel works quite nice, but there's an overshoot there. That's just been on my mind. And then it's getting very, very sideways and choppy and wicky, which I think is dangerous. So I'm kind of glad I got out there. I got into that a little bit on a whim, I think. It was that one I saw. There was a second entry long, and it's clearly working on that. I got in a bit late. I got in that one as a high low, but I got in a little bit lower, a few ticks above that. And I think if you're going to take that higher low, there you want to be out before the top. In all fairness, if you'd have done that, so if you took that there, the second entry long, you want to be out for the highs really. So yeah, if you just take maybe 6 ticks on something like that. So we got a leg back, second entry long fairly. It did work, and it worked for, it went up. That would have just been 2, I think, wouldn't it? Let me have a look. Was it an extra tick? Let's put that there. Okay, so it went up to 2 points. So 1.75 you'd have got. But I tend to like to be out a tick before, so you'd have got comfortably a 1.5 there. And I think taking, see, I took the higher low there. But I keep hearing this thing from Mac, make sure you're out before the highs. And although it's a trend and you think it might go higher, really, if you took that one, you want to be out the same place, really, don't you? Just because it's up here and that's down there, it doesn't make a difference. You still want to be out the same level. And then by the time that bar had printed, it's clearly going a bit sideways then, so that obviously alters the equilibrium a little more. So that's interesting. Look for what if we get there. 72 is key level. Yeah. that's what. Yeah. Sometimes I have these areas in my mind taking out stops, but Mac always says when you get into trade, you can always does. He measures how much there is to get out before the tops. And that's what I should have done there. So even if I took that one, trouble is it triggered it and then it came down and took the stop. But on a trend, I always give it an extra tick, so it would have saved me there. So that was obviously the better option. That was a little bit more risky because, in fact, just taking a glance at that, and we know this, and you can clearly see that, can't you? Look at that. Look how many. See, I'm going long really into all that there, so I shouldn't have taken that really. That one, yeah, too late there, and you can clearly see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's clearly low resistance there, and what it's doing is it's spiking and coming back, with the exception of this, but then we came straight back. So so that's interesting. But you're learning as you go along. You're learning next time. You know, I keep having this thing on my thing, look left. So you can clearly see that. And if you're taking that, look left. Look, so you're better off not taking that. What happened? It triggered, you came down and stopped you out, and then ended up getting up to the tops. So that's interesting, that is. Really interesting. So we got a leg down, and we got a break. So we've tried a bunch of times to go higher, and we haven't, and then we've dropped quite strongly. So now what we're going to do, retest these. We've got a channel up, 2 legs of correction, pushes up high, another attempt, a couple of more attempts, and then obviously they gave up the go, and then it just dropped. So let's see how these operate in relation to the ES. We've got a channel down, a couple of legs up, and then a new low. Let's see. Really strong, that is. ATR's rare. What's the ATR today? Where's the ATR? $177. Interesting. That's what that was. Sell VWAP trap. Okay. Where is VWAP at the moment? Sometimes I have bookmap on here and it shows you. So we got leg down, 1 attempt to go higher. So that's looking nice with a break. Let's see what happens. If we retest this, couple of legs up and then down to the bottom, or even possibly. Who knows? 5 minutes. I'm going to knock on the head there. I'm up to 237. Well, minus fees, so I don't know, 220, something like that. After fees, yeah, 210, 215, somewhere around about that. That'll do me 200 days ideal, I think. 28 and 25 on all contracts. 28. I'm liking that. Okay, I really like that. Nice channel there. We got 1 leg up break there, 1 leg back, 2 legs back, bounced off here. That looks like a 2-tier channel to me. We had a push up working nicely in that tier. Sideways, drop out, push up. See, that would have probably been, if you'd have had this possible channel, well, you wouldn't have done really, would you? But like to fade the range, I would tend to move that up a bit to about. That's better. Yeah, that's picking a bottom to me because there is a channel you just never quite know. I actually like that for a bigger channel. Got a leg up. 1, 2 legs back. Push up. So perhaps we are pushing up, but we're just doing it in a wider area. Where's that going to take us to? Over the highs of the day. Interesting. Interesting. Leg back, strong push up. It's been a really interesting day, actually. Really interesting day. That's been sort of the most productive one. Why can I not see that? Yeah, they're quite different today, aren't they? They're quite different. Okay, I'm going to knock it on the head for the day, folks. So it's been an interesting day, actually. So I've had a couple of trades. I lost a tick here. So I'm up about 3 points. Taking off a tick for that one. So yeah, I came out of it. I had only one contract on there for some reason. It was set to one contract, so not been a bad day. So about 2 points, 3 points all in all, I think. Very low, sell high. Yeah, buy low, sell high. Yeah. So that's it for today. So interesting day. I definitely need to play around with this some more. Trade it on a sim for a time, just to get used to the differences in price. But it's definitely been more of a productive day, that one. Although that one's not been too bad either. They've been quite different today, but almost the same, if you know what I mean. At quick glance, they almost look very close, but obviously there's some... I'll tell you what, let's forget that. That looks a bit better. So we got this tight channel here. We got the same there. Then we had a break, a push up, bit of size, break, bit of sideways, and then we've got that leg down and pushing up. So they're still very similar. If I put them sort of side by side around about the same area, yeah, they're still quite alike. But it's just nice to have the option of having two charts. It just doubles your chance of a setup, really. So I kind of like that. You've got to be careful combining the two sometimes, I think, looking at one when you traded another one, because I found myself doing that at times. So I think I need to still trade them. Having said that, if I'm looking to take a long setup here and I see that one come down quickly, I think that's a good indication that the long I'm taking may not work. So, I kind of like that. So that's it today, folks. Different type of day today. Obviously trade on two charts, but you got to try these things and give them a go. But I'm taking my time and trying not to do anything too stupid. Hence trading this on a sim for a few weeks, or until I can get comfortable with what I'm seeing. But I think you're best off trading them individually. Waiting for a setup on that one and then just concentrating on that trade, as opposed to sort of keep glancing left or right. So, yeah, you too, bud. You too. So that's it for today. Where are we tomorrow? Wednesday tomorrow. So we've got 3 more days of the week, and then I dare say it'll be a short week next week. I dare say some of the institutional traders will be feathering down for the Christmas break. So I'd probably expect to see volume sort of dissipate a little bit next week. But there you go. That's fine. I'm quite happy with the way things are at the moment. I'm not focusing too much on the money. I'm just, I've tried getting multiple accounts, but I'm just got the 1p at the moment. I'm just focusing on this. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm trying to focus on the process rather than the money. Because I believe if you focus on the process, the money just sort of follows. I don't know how many times in life we've heard that. Just concentrate on what you're doing and the money will follow. So there you go. Different day today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I haven't frustrated you too much. I know some of you may just focus on one chart, so it may be a change for some, but, maybe it's opening your eyes. There's a possibility sometimes if you sat here for 4 hours with nothing, there may be something on here. But we had a nice setup there. I think a nice setup there and a nice setup there, and same again. So it's been an interesting day. So there you go. I won't bore you anymore. So I appreciate your comments. Hope you've had a good day. Hope you've had a green day. I'm up after fees, around about $200. So that's good for me. I'm pleased with that. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And we'll talk and we'll do it all again same time tomorrow. So bye for now.